Welcome to another day in Empyrion Galactic Survival, and as you can see here I've made some quite major changes to my base. I've now taken up the farm here and I've got this really big empty space. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with it. I might make it into a command center. And the other thing I also want to show you is the fact if you look through the glass now, it appears to be dark outside. If I actually go through, you'll actually see it's broad daylight. Now the reason it looks like it's actually dark outside, what I've actually done is if I go in close here, in fact if I use the drone it'd be easier to see, is I've actually doubled up the windows. So what I've actually got here now is I've got a set of armoured glass windows on the outside, and if I click here, and I've got another set on the inside. So if you can see the double frames there, and that means that if I show you here, this actually gives me a defense impact of 1,000 on the outside and then 1,000 on the inside. And the other thing I've also done is I've actually put in place an armored door. It's not that strong and it won't resist a determined attack, but what it will do is it will ensure that if I get random shots onto this frontage now, when drones come in, this will be able to stand up to attacks whilst I'm away. And the other thing I also want to show you is up here, I've actually started on a new project here, which is a new hangar bay. I did consider putting the hangar bay down here, but I just didn't think there was enough space. So what I want to do is build a hangar bay up here for small vessels. It's probably going to be like 3-4 blocks high. You can see I've already created the base level. It's nowhere near finished. And I've also put in a second tier of solar panels in across here. I'll probably keep extending this theme over time. I mean, the solar panels don't seem to be particularly that efficient on this planet, but never mind. And as I say, you can see here this hangar bay. As I say, eventually this will go up probably 4 blocks high with a roof, and then this will eventually blend into the base of the capital vessel bay at the top there. And if I just go through here, don't need that just now, we go through this door, and I think I'm okay for oxygen, a little bit low on food. I've also brought up a med bay up here because I had a couple of falls whilst I was messing about doing the bay, and I thought rather than walk all the way down I'd actually put that there. And I might actually put an armor locker and secondary there, it depends on what I find. And if I come into here and we go through this door, this is now my farming area. Looks like the crops are ripe, so we might as well pick this stuff up while I'm looking at it. And this is actually 4 blocks of 9 deep, and I think it's going to supply me with everything I need. As you can see, I haven't occupied every square yet, and so just grab the corn as well. But I can't see any point in making it any bigger at the moment, simply because I think this is providing me more than enough resources now to make canned food, especially with the spices, because I've now got 6 plants instead of the 3. And of course we've got the natural sweetener as well, which is going to be quite very useful. And we've got the fibre plants here, which just saves me not having to mess around going out to get wood, chopping down trees. So we'll do our bit for conservation. I'm just going to clear this out first, and what I want to do in this part is get out and do a bit more exploration. I don't really want to work on the base, partly because the excavation for that hangar bay above took over an hour, and to be honest, after about an hour of constant excavation and digging, my actual wrist starts to hurt a little bit. So I need to have a rest. I know I could put some auto drills on the front of my hover vehicle to speed the process up, but I think I'm okay. I mean, it's just going to be a little bit of an off-screen project, I suppose is probably the polite way of saying it, and I'll just keep you guys updated as I go through. I mean, there's only so much digging I think I need to be able to inflict on you. So we've all picked up all this stuff now, and I think what I'm just going to do is shove it into the food processor. I should have enough room for this. Nope, okay. So we're going to put some overflow into... Wow, okay. I'm just going to shove all this into a fridge then. Let's put this in fridge 1. I mean, I don't want to take it with me. So you can see here, oops, no. Yeah, I think that'd be okay. As you can see here, this farm is now producing more than enough supplies to keep the food situation going. And if I go down my nice long corridor here, this is the vertical shaft that will take me up to the hangar deck. You can see it's really nice and deep. It's intentionally built deep because what I want is this central strip. Eventually we will have a repair bay in here, and I'll be able to explore the repair bay options. And we're just going to jump into the ship, and of course we're going to have to power up. We're okay for oxygen. And let's get here. And what I want to do in this part is get down and effectively start exploring this area. So obviously this is a long way away. So what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm just going to cut the video while we travel the 8.74 kilometers to that marker. So I'll see you in a minute, guys, once I actually get there. Okay guys, I think I'll just show you this on the way past. If you've been following the series, you'd be aware that I actually took out this abandoned reactor here. And you can see there's still quite a lot left of it. I mean, I've mined out quite a few blocks, and I have come back once before to get some more, but you can see there's still quite a few blocks here that I can mine out, but I'm in no rush to do that, and I've got no real need for them at the moment, so I will be coming back here later on. I've looted out most of everything I actually wanted, so that's just a quick view of the abandoned reactor. Okay guys, we're just coming up on the marker that represents the beginning of this dead zone, and I think what we're going to do is just fly a bit of a dogleg packet, and I think get rid of that marker there. And if you're interested, it's taken just over 6, nearly 7 minutes to fly from my base to this point on the planet, so that gives you an idea of how big these planets are now. Oops, I've gone too low, I've just crashed into the water, so we're just going to need to get out here. I'll kind of drop down so that I can actually see a bit more of the terrain. So what I'm going to do now is fly down to that marker, same rules as before. If I don't see anything on the radar, and bang on cue something comes up on the radar, and we'll go and check it out. So we're going to go and fly and check this out. Technically I'm actually, oh yeah, we've got a bit of a dead zone here, so in some ways this is good, but any sections where not much is happening I will edit out. So I'm just going to fly over here, just level off a bit. Right, so it's saying that this is away to the south. So it's probably, because it flipped, it's probably more in that direction. So we're just going to fly south, southeast. Oh no, maybe it is a bit more further south. Of course, I'm being a bit cautious because that looks a bit like a base of some kind. Okay. There's a drone or troop ship there. Let's just make sure we're fully loaded. That drone is actually quite away from wherever that base is, so. Well, it's not firing at me, so wow, okay. There is a lot of drones in this area. I think I might need a bit of a higher knockdown, I think, for this. That actually looks a bit like a troop ship, actually. Okay. Rocket drone, okay. That is heavily armed, so we're certainly not going to take that on just at the moment. I'm very tempted, guys, very, very tempted, but there's actually an ancient shelter there, so that's the... Okay. The ancient shelter could provide me cover, but the problem is going to be those drones. I think we're going to leave that for another time. Sometimes discretion is always the better part of valor. So what we're going to do is we're going to fly off over towards this marker here. Yeah, I think with some of these new POIs and all that, I actually need effectively what you could call a combat vessel. Probably I'd be more inclined to have a CV type vessel with an internal cockpit with some heavier armor on the front, something like that, and some heavier weapons, so that we can, so it'd be like a bit like a flying tank, or alternatively maybe a hover vehicle that's more of a tank. The trouble with the hover vehicle is going to be getting around the planet. So right, we're here now. I think what we're going to do is fly in about that far, and then we're going to go north. So I'm just going to, yeah, so we've got the ancient shelter and the... Oops, nope. I'm just going to remove that. Nope, doesn't want to remove it, okay. So what we're going to do is just fly this way a bit, guys. Right, we've got something to the west. So we're just going to go and check that out. So we're just going to keep going. Obviously we're down right next to the pole at the moment. Right, so we've got something to the north and west. I mean, having the new extended range radar on the ship is very, very useful. I think maybe we'll just keep flying this way. And we're getting into the mountains, so... Right, there's something there. There's drones again. That looks a little bit like a comm center. We could come at it. I think maybe we can sneak up a little bit on it. Okay, I'm just going to drop fairly... Yeah, and there's something just beyond it. So we're just going to... That's an abandoned factory, so that's going to be great. Okay, we can certainly get up and take out the drone above. Abandoned factories don't have heavy weapon defenses, so, and that again looks like a troop ship. Okay, I think we can get in and actually take out that rocket drone. Oops. Oh well, we definitely took out. Okay, it's a large minigun drone. Okay, got him. Now, we're actually behind the abandoned factory. The defences of the abandoned factory are actually forward facing, so we should be able to sneak in here and actually loot those two drones. Get down very, very low. That's annoying. Now we're going to be very, very careful here, guys, because if I get in behind that wall there, I should have the protection to actually be able to do this and loot these two out without actually doing it. And of course, these are the new arachnid models. And something's actually firing at me, so I can't afford to stay too long. I don't know, maybe something isn't, so it's just a visual effect. Yeah, there's a patrol over there, so whoops. Okay, he actually shot my... Okay, time to back off away from the abandoned factory. Okay, let's get back into third person. Okay. So if we're going to take out that oxygen thing, we're going to need to come at it from the terrain. So I'm a little bit tempted to go for this, but at the same time I think we need to check out what else is around, because I don't want to accidentally stumble into something. It says there's something actually up on the road. That's just creatures. So let's just check out what it says is to the east. Now I've come from the east, so I'm not too sure. Oh, this is Sathian deposit. That's okay. And looks like there's another drone there, so I think we can. This time we're actually going with. Let's take out those. Wow, that took a little bit more longer to shoot up than I was expecting. Okay, well. Now I do need to get out and actually mine some more resources, because all my extravagant base building has had some effect. Oh, wow, okay, we've got some actual. That would be useful. So that will actually save me mining. So if I can get into a position about here. There's another one over there, but we don't want to get too greedy too quickly. So there's the drone. Another one stood right behind the drone. Some more power. That's great. Yeah, these ice golems are absolutely great for resources, guys. There we are. Especially some of the more rarer resources. And strange enough, one of the resources that I am actually getting a little bit short of is actually iron. So we're going to have to think about doing that. Let's get back to here. Right, let's just pick out some of these guys first. So I'm just going to get in here. Got some more estrium, nembidium, and those are the types of resources I'm going to need if I'm going to actually build the repair base. So thank you. So I'm just gonna fly in here, level off, drop down. Oops, I better go up. I don't want to tangle with the local friendly arachnids, although I could probably do with some meat actually. Where did you go? There you are. I've got crushed stone, estrium and pentaxid. Yep, we'll take that. And of course what we need to do is just, I think I'm just going to shove this in the cargo box, because I don't really want to carry this in my current constructor on this ship. So actually that's vegetable juice. I think that really needs to go into the fridge because it's got a perish time. Yep, probably got a bit too much. I also need to go. You can also see that I've gone through quite a lot of drill charges. I mean, that was over 20 drill charges and I've actually managed to get through all those. Okay, let's give me the meat that I need to make some more actual canned meat, which would be quite useful. So, and this time we'll just use Shift F because we know what's in these mule, which is just predominantly meat with. So, is that it? Have I got all of them? Can't remember if I. Okay. Yeah, so we picked up 10 meat, 6 milk. That's going to be quite useful. Let's go jump into the ship and we're just going to go back west again now. Let me just Right, so let's just put this in the fridge so it doesn't spoil. Although, to be honest, the milk isn't particularly that important. And what I want to do is see what is to the west now. Because I can't actually see. I think that is the... Is that the abandoned factory? Let's just have a quick look. Ooh. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Yeah, that's the abandoned factory, that's the advanced oxygen place there. So what we're going to do is fly through the mountains. We can use the mountains for cover. There's a nice approach point there. But what I want to do is make sure that... It says there's something also to the south. Even more to the south. See, we could come in on the advanced oxygen just there. I want to make sure there isn't anything with long-range weapons on this side, because the way things are now spaced is they actually tend to group POIs together now. So we're just gonna check out this area here, guys. Okay, let's... No, okay. Let's fly out this way. Right, that's a Sathium deposit. Yeah, we're not particularly that interested in... Well, I am interested in Sathium, but not just at the moment. And I think if we go south a little bit, there is the... this is probably another deposit. Okay, so we're still going south. What on earth is down here? Because we're very close to the actual gap. Well, there's some area we need to expose there anyway, so we're just going to go south. Right, we found some wreckage. And there's another drone here, so that actually looks like it's almost like it's under. Okay. I want to check that wreckage out because it's almost like it's underwater. Whoops. I'm just going to drop down. So we're just going to drop down on the whoops, underwater again. Out of water, please. And should be able to loot the plasma drone. And we've got a bit more power. That's good. And I am curious about this wreckage. I'm just wondering whether what type of wreckage do you find underwater? So, okay, I'm just gonna. Okay. So we've actually got underwater wreckage. Okay, that's cool. Wow, I certainly would like to check this out actually, because this has got some really good stuff on it. It's got some current on its medium thrusters. I mean, got some oxygen there. Yep, I think that's certainly going to be worth checking out, guys. But and what I want to do, I'm a bit inclined to actually want to, I feel I need to clear this area out, but we're going to need to take out this building here, which is actually an advanced oxygen depot. That's the one with the weapons on. And the way we're going to have to approach this is from the high terrain. So, so if we fly around here, can we get the curvature of Yeah, we can use this terrain here. I'm just going to fly in and test the terrain. I'm aware that the time's actually pushing on this video, guys, so I'm just going to drop down. And there's a couple of drones hanging around, but if I keep low, okay, I can think that there's a patrol here somewhere. Yeah, so they are. Okay, there's more of there's multiple patrols here. Okay, back down. Of course they're gonna. Don't drift. Level off, please. I'm actually wasting good resources here. I'm taking these patrols out because I'm not going to be able to really get in, and I'd love to get down here and actually think, but right, I've got those guys down. Question is, can I sneak down here and loot these guys without getting killed? Well, we're just going to find out. So, and this is going to be a good Shift F, Shift F. Yeah, we don't have time to look, so we're just going to grab these. Whoops, no. Shift F. Got these guys. Up in here. I mean, there's no point shooting these patrols up if you can't actually gain access to the resources. I mean, obviously, there's another one over there, so that's going to be a bit risky. Wow, there's a lot of patrols around this base. We're going to take the chance here. We're just gonna get down here, grab these guys, Shift F, Shift F. I mean, hopefully we're gonna get some med kits out of them. This is the main reason why I'm actually shooting them up. Oh wow. F5, and we're just gonna pull away. Yeah, that went pretty well. Just going to have a quick look at what we managed to get out of that. Well, we're going to put it in the cargo boxes anyway, so well, we got heavy weapons upgrade kit, we got some antibiotic pills, nanotubes, some credit cards. Didn't get any health kits, so we could eat that, so we don't waste it. Got some power cells, some projectile rounds, and some energy bars and food. So I'm just going to grab that. How am I for food? Oxygen's a bit low. I think what I'm going to do, guys, just to round this part up again, is I think we're going to shoot up another patrol just for the fun of it. And there should be one up here, just get a bit of height. If I stay low, I should be able to come in, and the trick is to kind of come in low and slow. Of course, we're going to maybe a little bit more height, because there was definitely a patrol in this area. There they are. Now, I don't know if those guys actually stood up and then fell down again, but again, we're just going to sneak in, have a look round and loot these guys, and then I think this is where I'm going to call it for this video. Of course, these are mechanoids, so they're not going to have med kits on them, but they could have some useful resources. And here's their controller. He might have had something in there that'd be of use. And again, we're just going to pull away a little bit and just see what we got in the way of booty. Let's come in here. Another salami. Well, read that. Mechanical components. Projectile rounds. Got some more ammunition. It's not particularly that useful, to be honest, guys. I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, I will be having a crack at this advanced oxygen depot. I think maybe it's time we started doing a little bit, but obviously that's going to take a little bit of time, and there's not enough time left on this time slot. Therefore, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. Until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.